This is my informative speech on neurocardiogenic syncope. Neurocardiogenic syncope is a fainting disorder caused by a sudden drop in blood pressure. In a normal person, when you stand up, blood drains down to your legs, but your blood pressure increases to send blood back up to your brain. For someone with neurocardiogenic syncope, that doesn't happen. Other word names are, it's also known as vasovagal syncope and neurally mediated syncope. It affects about 10% of the population, and it's mostly common in younger women and more than men. Symptoms can be anything from dizziness to lightheadedness, hot flashes or cold sweats, nausea, blurred or tunnel vision. From the outside, you can see that person suddenly turn pale. They may seem disoriented or confused. They might complain of just kind of feeling really weak all of a sudden. They might stutter or have a hard time putting words together. Ringing in ears, really low blood pressure. I've had 70/30 and still standing, and felt really, really bad. And that all leads to a person who finally faints, and symptoms can vary from person to person. Triggers for neurocardiogenic syncope are things like standing for a long time, standing up too fast, high stress, high temperatures. If it's hot outside in the summer, can't handle that. Going from hot to cold, like from the heat to the air conditioning, or air conditioning to outside, or somebody with a really high heat in the house. Trauma, like an injury. I had stitches in my hand and passed out. Dehydration, you want to drink a lot of water or Gatorade, electrolytes kind of stuff. Being really hungry can cause it. If you don't get a lot of sleep, you're more likely to faint. A bad coughing fit, can't get enough air. I think that's anybody. Can't do a whole lot of heavy exercise, no cardio, anything like that. Some people faint when their blood is drawn or they see blood. Extreme emotions, going from happy to just really upset suddenly. And again, triggers vary from person to person. Neurocardiogenic syncope can be misdiagnosed. It most commonly falls under epilepsy. I was treated for epilepsy for about 8 months before I got a proper diagnosis. It can be also seen as hypoglycemia, vertigo, chronic fatigue syndrome, or a lot of doctors, like a neurologist, was ready to classify me as just crazy. And seeing the right doctors, you want to go see a cardiologist or an electrophysiologist or a neurologist, and they will test you. There's some common tests, or a tilt table test, where they strap you onto a table and put all kinds of an IV in you. They put a bunch of monitors all over you. They stand you almost up to standing up on the table while you're strapped down, and then they just watch you. And if your blood pressure drops and you faint, then you're positive. You can do a poor man's tilt table test, which is just taking a blood pressure cuff and measuring your blood pressure while you're standing, while you're sitting, and while you're laying down. If your blood pressure suddenly drops, that can be a sudden positive. There's an insertable loop recorder, which is a small surgery procedure done, and it's a little box inserted right over your heart. An echocardiogram, which is they just kind of do an ultrasound of your heart. An electrophysiology study, they run a wire through your leg up into your heart and watch it. Neurocardiogenic syncope is treated just kind of like lifestyle changes, avoiding your triggers if you can, avoiding stress, getting a lot of rest, a lot of salt, a lot of fluids. Compression stockings are recommended. I don't like them. You can take some techniques and exercises to lessen or prevent a faint. Don't take medications that cause a drop in blood pressure. Don't stand in long lines if you can help it, or you can carry a special cane. You can do light exercises like yoga and stuff. For some people, lifestyle changes work. If not, medications like things like Metadrine, beta blockers, salt tablets, all kinds of things. They vary from person to person. You can also end up with a pacemaker and the worst possibilities for people whose hearts tend to stop. There is no cure for neurocardiogenic syncope. You just kind of live with it. For some people it gets better, for some people it gets worse, for some you just have it for life. It's not deadly or anything like that unless you fall and get hurt real bad and knock yourself out. There's a lot of research studies with different medications, getting ready to do one where they want to do a microdialysis in my legs just to watch my blood vessels. So it just kind of depends on the person to person. But that is neurocardiogenic syncope. Thank you.